Hello everyone, this is today's video analysis for March 25th, 2019. Today we're looking at the EURUSD, the euro, versus the US dollar for today's trade analysis. Starting here on the daily time frame, the pair has been somewhat in a range for quite a long period of time. You see this black box on the chart between the pink zone at the top near the 114.50.80 level and the orange zone at the bottom, 112.75, 112.55. And a majority of price action going all the way back to October of 2018 has been contained within this range between those two zones, top and bottom of that box. We've seen a couple of times above, one time above, and a couple of times below that range, but a majority, statistically, a majority of price action been held within the overall long-term range. If I zoom out one time, you can even see that consolidate even deeper, and you can see where we are within the grand scheme of things, well within and at the bottom of a downtrend for the euro dollar, holding underneath the 100 period moving average as well, giving us a clue to that downtrend. There's not a lot of distance or space between the moving average and the current price, as you see top left hand side of the chart, where there was distance and momentum within the downtrend from the moving average. We've been just kind of tight up against it for the past couple of months. So there's not a lot of distance, but you know, all it's going to take is some significant price action, significant uptrend or downtrend to get her to pull away from that moving average and give us some momentum, indication of momentum for the currency pair. But right now, just kind of stuck around the moving average, and within that range, it's about 200 pips, I guess, top to bottom of that range. So let's go ahead and zoom it in and one more time and see what's been happening here over the past couple of days. Let's just say Thursday, Friday of last week, we saw a bearish trend. The market suddenly turned back around after our FOMC news on Wednesday, which caused the euro dollar to spike higher all the way up to the 114.50 level, by the way. On Wednesday, we saw a sudden turnaround on Thursday, and then Friday pressuring back down towards the bottom of the range. So the big questions this week are we going to see the continuation of the momentum created Thursday and Friday of last week and a turn lower and maybe even breaking the orange zone like it did here and here? Or will we, like a majority of price action, see a turnaround and the market go back higher again? I don't think we really have clues to that. We don't have clues that this is going to turn around and go back higher yet. I think at least right now we have to consider the fact that we're underneath the green zone. I'm just going to circle one little spot here. Let me just draw out a circle and put it right here. And this is an interesting area for us. We saw the market in a downtrend. We fell from the pink zone, got under the green zone, and for about a week bounced around between the green and the orange shaded area. So I think that's an interesting scenario for us today, between the green zone 113.25 and 113.05 and the orange zone 112.75.55. There's not any news on the market today. There's no significant high impact news on the market today to cause momentum or volatility. So I don't know if we're going to have enough oomph out of the market to pressure it back through that green zone. So likely I'm looking at resistance, like inside the black circle, at the green zone for maybe today, maybe for a couple of days, and the potential of it going down to the orange zone again. Buying, I think, is a little difficult. Let's zoom it in couple more times. So here we are. The green zone is our main area to focus on. Right now we're underneath it as resistance. We haven't really opened and closed. We've only closed Friday, opened today, and pushing back into it. But we haven't really seen a full candle body underneath there yet. But we are within and underneath the 13.25 green shaded area. The only expectation I would have is if it got above that green zone, then we look for it to turn back around and head back higher, maybe to the yellow zone or even higher than that. So under the green zone, I'm looking at resistance potential to target down to the orange zone, like it did back here at the black circle for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days, bounced around inside of that circled area back there on the left. I'm not saying that's what's going to happen today, but as long as it's under the green zone, I don't have any real expectation that it's going to go higher. I have more of an expectation that it could target back down here to the orange zone. And of course, we already know that if it gets under the orange zone, we'd look for it to target much lower levels down to the pink and the blue zone down here at the bottom of the chart. So for the day today, at least for the time being, under the green zone, we are into resistance. It's not a great place to buy it unless it gets above the green zone. selling becomes an intraday opportunity for the euro dollar. Let's take it down to the 4-hour time frame. And here it is. I mean, there it is again. We look for price action that indicates bearish moves. You know, a bearish engulfing candle, a inverted hammer candlestick, those indicate an infusion of buy or sell orders. And we can see a smaller body with a long wick on top could be our first clue that sellers are becoming a little bit more interested in this currency pair, and the only reason I expect it to go higher is if it gets above that green zone. So again, for the day today, staying underneath that green zone, and if we see bearish price action, I'm just going to draw out a little implied candle here with that red box there. So if we see bearish price action from the green zone, staying under the green zone, we look to target back down to the orange zone or potentially lower down to the pink zone. The only reason to expect it to go higher is that it gets above the green zone to go up for the euro dollar today.
From Forex Traders Daily, this has been your daily analysis with Ross Mullins. If you would like to get Ross's analysis on all the currency pairs he's watching and all the trades he takes today, join him in his live trade room by clicking on the link below. Please leave any comments you have about today's video in the comments section below.